All right. So I've been holding on to this information for a minute now. The picture that you see in the thumbnail is one of former assistant district attorney of Wayne County, and if I'm not mistaken, district court judge of Wayne County, Mr. James Copeland. And the reason why that picture that you see is up there, because I think it was yesterday that somebody posted in the group What's Up Goldsboro, in which I post my videos in as well, that Mr. Copeland, you have dropped your wallet at the Piggly Wiggly on Lionel Street. Now, if anybody's familiar with the Piggly Wiggly on Lionel Street, that area is frequented by prostitutes and johns or tricks. Now, it has been alleged by former prostitutes and also other confirmed sources that Mr. James Copeland has been involved with the solicitation and the participation of prostitution with alleged prostitutes, as well as some weird fetishes. Now, of course, once again, this information is third hand, but I'm going to read you a text that I got from a former prostitute. And this text was sent about a month ago after she saw the post with former Detective Trey Rhodes, or former Wayne County Sheriff Trey Rhodes, and the prostitute Cheyenne, in which she detailed how this current officer, then he was a current officer, alleged and engaged in prostitution with her. Now, if you've been following the Mike Cox case, it has been alleged in court documents that he also was engaged in prostitution, as well as former Deputy Schaefer, who was investigated. His name has also came up in prostitution participation, allegedly. But I'm going to read you this post and to explain why I am making this video today, because Mr. Copeland's wallet was found at this alleged Piggly Wiggly on Lionel Street, which is known for the solicitation of prostitution. As the woman sent me this message this morning, who alerted me to the fact, she said that he probably lost his wallet up there tricking. Now, I'm going to read the post from almost a month ago, after this lady saw the post with Cheyenne and Trey Rhodes exposing the sheriff deputy's participation in prostitution. I'm going to read it. Good morning, Richard. I seen your video about the girl and the officer. All she said was true. I don't know if you remember me, but I've been clean over 20 years. But when I was out there on drugs, one of my main tricks was James Copeland. I don't know if you know Star. She hangs at Piggly Wiggly. Well, she turned me on to him, and we would go to his house, and this dude used to be high as hell off pills and alcohol. Well, I said this to say that situation has been always on my mind. These court officials and officers are corrupt, and I'm glad you're exposing them. Now, that's the first text. Now, if you don't know Star, and I think I remember Star that she's talking about, Star has been a victim of drug addiction, substance use disorder for years. And actually, I remember this lady when she said it. So, because she's talking about 20 years ago, so she's talking about 2003. She's been clean 20 years. But I was around here running around the streets from like 95 to about 2002. So I do remember her. And I checked, her allegations along with another credible source. And my credible source confirmed that, yes, it is well known that James Copeland was involved in prostitution and had a fetish for prostitutes and weird sexual activity. I'm going to get to that at the end. And once again, this is alleged. But this lady, once again, alleges that James Copeland was one of her main tricks. And she said, and they elected him district court judge back then. She said, continues, he used to jog down Walnut Street and motion for us to come to his house, which is also on Walnut Street. Now, mind you, that was back in, I guess, the 90s or the early 2000s, because allegedly from the picture and the post in What's Up Goldsboro from yesterday, people commented under it and said that, now he lives on Linwood Street. Now that is on the public website, Facebook, on the Goldsboro What's Up page. Now, I informed the lady, look, okay, congratulations on your sobriety. I won't speak your name, but I'll definitely bring this situation up. Now, this was a month ago, but I did wanted to dig and talk to a few other confirmed sources before I make this video about Mr. Copeland's alleged conduct while being someone who was supposed to be upholding the law. Now, and once again, I'll get to that at the end, but I don't care what a man does with his body parts in his spare time, but if you are the one who is sending people away or prosecuting people for these same crimes, it is definitely hypocrisy if you are participating in these same crimes in your spare time. But this lady goes on to say, definitely don't say my name, but definitely mention him. Also, Star is still in active addiction, and I just seen her at the Pig yesterday. She may tell you more, but no, he was a defense attorney last I saw him in court, but I think he was on the verge of retirement. You know who I'm talking about, right? He used to sit in court and go to sleep. I remember that, with his nasty self, and she put up the throw up emojis. Now, once again, I remember Mr. Copeland because, of course, from the court, but it was actually in the late 80s in which my parents bought their first house from him, which was located at 1016 South Taylor Street. So that was the first time I ever seen him, because after we moved in, I think he came and, I think there was still some repairs that needed to be done, and I remember my mom talking to him out in the parking lot, and I think at that time he was a defense attorney, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he then moved up to a district attorney, which is on the other side of prosecuting criminals. And as this lady alleges that he was, elected to a district court judge, and then I think he moved back down. I don't know, but I remember him, and I actually remember him as being a fair prosecutor and also a fair judge. Now, of course, if he was involved in these type of activities, then that may be why, because maybe his conscience was eating him and he didn't want to send people away because he knew he was also involved in criminal activity, which is definitely unbecoming of a lawyer, a district attorney, as well as, most importantly, a judge. And I haven't got a chance to talk to Star. I don't know where she is, but of course, when these people in the streets tell you something, I believe it, because once again, I've been in the streets and I have seen all types of debauchery from those people who would otherwise be perceived as law-abiding citizens. So that is one reason why I don't necessarily discount any of these claims, because I've been out there and I've seen it with my own two eyes as well. And she goes on to send me the pictures of him, and I confirmed, yes, I remember him as well. And she said, she continued on, said, nope, he was a trick. We could hardly wait for him to ride through on that Cavalier with NC State tags on the front. Now, she continued on, and when she gives you details like that, and once again, it's sort of like when I was selling crack. I couldn't wait to see certain cars ride through, because we know that they were going to be spending money. Now, this former prostitute alleges that, she couldn't wait to see him ride through on that Cavalier with the NC State tags. Now, if you were around that area, Mr. Copeland's car, you may can confirm that was his car. Now, once again, all of this is allegedly. I'm reading from information that was sent through me, through a third party self, and I'm through a third party source. Now I'm going to read this last paragraph, which he kind of goes into detail, in which I will also provide some more information from another source, which confirmed his weird extreme fetishes. Now, she goes on to say, "Oh yeah, he liked to perform oral on us with this nasty self. We've been out there all day, and then there he comes wanting to do oral sex on us. I still remember the house on the quote unquote good end of Walnut Street where he lived. He used to say he trusted me. Like, really, dude? I'm going to see if I can find start a day. I just don't need my past coming back to haunt me. I'm a substance abuse counselor at a place in which I'm not going to mention that because that may give her identity away. But she said, I'm a substance abuse counselor and an intern, and a lot of people know me. So, and then she goes on, to send me the picture this morning about his ID being found at Piggly Wiggly, which that is the reason for this post on Thanksgiving Day. I had to do it today, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful Thanksgiving. But once again, these are alleged acts, but they have been confirmed or corroborated by other sources. Now, this one source that I talked to said, yeah, well, he's been, known to, frequent prostitutes, and from the person, she alleges that, the prostitutes told her that he likes to smell armpits. And I don't know what kind of pleasure that a man can get from smelling armpits, but it corroborates this lady's story where she iterated that they had been out all day performing, prostitution with various people, and this man allegedly would want to perform oral sex on them. Now that once again speaks to, a very base, I would say, a base fetish or base, desire or passion that someone could have, knowing that, what these ladies were out there doing with their bodies all types of day, and then you would actually want to perform, a sexual act which may put you in danger of contracting, various amounts of germs and, maybe diseases. But the main part of this video, once again, all of this is alleged, and once again, I cannot blame anybody for what they choose to do with their own sexual members in their own private time. However, if this court official was trusted with upholding the law with morals and ethics, and also judging others who were committed of crimes, it is hypocrisy. It is an oxymoron. It is a dichotomy of his position to be acting in this manner while being at the helms of a court system ruled with upholding morals, justice, and the legal parameters of a free, just society. Now, once again, these are all allegations. If you can corroborate or dispute this story, once again, my number is 919-587-7782. And I am welcome to corrections or more information, or even information that disputes these claims. And once again, I can't reiterate enough that these are allegations made by citizens and confirmed by other citizens that would put this man in definitely not the light that I have known and respected him for years. And once again, like I said, I haven't been, through the court system in over a decade, and before that, over 2 decades. But from what I remember him, being a DA and also a judge, if I'm not mistaken, that he was very fair. I can't say that about the man. He was very, very fair in judging cases. So, I hope that these allegations, may not have credence to them, but, I've talked to, a few sources, and they have confirmed that, Mr. Copeland has been alleged to participate in activities like this, which once again is in direct and stark contrast to his position as a lawyer and a court official. This has been Taylor House Publishing. Make sure you like the page, like the video, subscribe, and share the videos. Thank y'all for y'all support. Peace and blessings.